Welcome to the Sovereign Free Life podcast. Today, I just wanted to share from my heart what has been happening in 2025 because it's been such an amazing year. And in our community, in the community that I work with, there's so much focus on the inner work and how it reflects into our outer reality. And if it's like one thing that I'd like to take away from this year, one thing I've learned, it's that I've seen that very, very clearly how these inner shifts that you make, how that reflects outwardly, like instantly, like that. And it's hard, like before, that was a bit airy fairy to me. That was a bit like, my God, that's kind of like, how can you just shift something inside and it actually happens outside? And for me, there was a huge shift. I went to San Diego in June to the big convention of people, thousands of people from all over the world. And I met and got inspired by so many other people. And I also understood like the importance of meeting up with like-minded people, getting support from those that cheer you on, that lift you up, that, help you to make these inner shifts. Because a lot of the time I see with people like that are curious about what do I do? Like, how can she create that much time and freedom? How has she done this huge shift in her life? And I'm actually going to show you, like, give you a little bonus here of like my shift, my story that's coming from one of the launches that we did this year. And it's been quite huge, like also looking back at, regained my time, I regained my health, I regained my purpose, like stepping into so much positive impact in this world. And what I saw in San Diego, even though I thought, oh my God, I've done so much work, like a lot of the time, people have this cup full syndrome. You think that, oh, but I know so much, I've done so much. I think I had a bit of that as well. I came there and I met this man, Ray Higdon. He's a top international coach. I had the honor to sit at a dinner with him, like next to him. And on it was like a leadership dinner, everyone that was 6A and above for you, those of you that know that. And some of the top leaders in the world in my community that are like making millions of millions and have impacted so many people across the world were there speaking and sharing. And Ray shared that, you can do all this kind of manifestation work and vision work and therapy, like looking at your traumas, this and that. But if you don't take care of your self-sabotage, you're not going to get the results. And that kind of triggered something within me because it triggered me to actually see like where am I hiding? Where am I still being self-destructive? What kind of stories am I still repeating inside of me? It's kind of like I think someone else said that these negative stories that we tell ourselves that she can do it, I can't do it, or I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I could never, like, but these people tell me that this is a bad thing, so I won't do it. Like, it's so many, like, this negative kind of poison around us. So that's why it's so important to like get another perspective. But anyway, I started to really look carefully at these stories because, oh yeah, that's what someone said as well. These stories are like a script, for a movie, and you try to fill in the roles. Like if you have a negative script, you will find the people, you will find the circumstances that fulfill that negative script. But how can we rewrite that script? How can we actually empower ourselves and be honest, like purely, rawly, truly honest with ourselves at where we're at, what is in the way, where do we want to go? And a lot of the time, it's much more simple than we think. That's what I figured out in San Diego. It was so much more. You know, when you thought you've done all this inner work, and then you open a door, it's like you find this new door. And it's like, oh my God, there is much more to clean out there. Uh, and and you start to do the work. So I did, you know, I'm not afraid of feelings. I'm not afraid of truth. I'm not afraid of like looking at stuff. So I started to write, like I write a diary like every day, or most days, I would say, just to get that self-reflection, to get that kind of truth. It kind of, when you just think it in your head, it's harder to bring it up to the conscious mind, right? So I started to write down after we said this, all this kind of self-sabotage patterns started to come up. Like a big one for me is that I think I'm too much joy, I'm too much like expression and power, and I see how, you know, how I need to let myself out even more, be more authentic, because it's the truth for me. Like there is a lot of bliss, a lot of joy, a lot of positivity that I've been holding back. And then there's also, I saw these parts where I still want to hide under the blanket, or like, why can't someone else do it? Like, let mommy and daddy do it. Like these small children, like we carry inside of us that we, like these inner childs that we let rule our lives sometimes. And it's kind of crazy. Like if you would be with a child in a store and they're like just picking all the candy, like would you give your child that candy? Like, mm-mm. Like it's been kind of a year of growing up and holding these little children inside and like seeing like, okay, there's still some parts I'm hiding. There's still some parts where I'm afraid. There's still some parts where I, you know, distract myself or do something else and not take care of myself fully. So that was a huge awakening. And after that shift, it really did reflect in the outer reality. Like it was 5K months, like boom, 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 all the way. And then I think it was end of the summer. I had an accident with my knee and it kind of shook everything up again. And I was like, then you start to doubt and you start to like starts to slow down. You have to take care of yourself. And I think that was a lesson as well, because one of the things that I think I'm struggling with is that balance between like to expand is not to do more, it's actually to do less. So I had to kind of learn to outsource, to do less, to really put my self-care in the first room, because I think a lot of, especially women out there, there is this pleaser inside. There is this kind of, you want everyone to be happy, you want to serve everyone else. And a lot of that actually comes from real love. And we need to be in that feminine. It's okay. It's okay to give love. It's okay to be love. It's okay to care. But you need to do it from a full cup. So what I did and what I've done really developed this past year, something that I also heard from these top leaders and mentors, is to have routines, to have like a morning routine, to have this self-care routine, not just once in a while, like every day. And that is something that I have kept a lot of the time during this year, is that I rigorously do my self care routine and my morning routine. And not just from like here, but it was a huge process to actually develop that routine. And it really came from identifying, okay, where are my major blocks in my life? Where are my blind spots? What do I need to work on? And also really identify, this is the big plan. This is what I feel I'm here for. Like this is my purpose, my soul's longing. This is like the visions that are have been growing inside of me for all of my life that I know I'm here to do. And they feel kind of mind-blowing if you think about it. But if you feel it, I know a lot of it has already happened, and I see it developing. And really pinpointing that big vision in detail and the steps there. So in this morning routine, I developed first the spiritual connection, because if it's something that I see and learn from my mentors, from those that have walked before me, and if you listen to the podcasts during this year and from the start, it is so, so clear that if you listen to your inner voice, to your soul's longing, to this light within you in every step that you take, something goes beyond the mind. Something happens where you're not sure maybe why am I calling this person now? Why do I need to go to this event, to this place? Why do I need to do these things? And then once you take the steps, it all becomes super clear. And it's something that when you connect with that every day in your daily life, it becomes so much easier to follow that light, to follow that intuition or that guidance. So that's the first thing I do. I do my prayers, I do my meditations. And after that, directly, I do my script. And this script is not, like I said, it's not just wishful thinking, it was carefully crafted around what I call the sovereign free life plan. So it's another long story, and you'll hear more about it this coming year, what that actually means. But in the Sovereign Free Life Plan, it's actually when I worked as a coach for many, many years, and when I've done research with brain researchers, with psychologists, with met so many people across the world, it is like a framework for building a balanced and whole life where we can be fully in our self-expression and authentic self on multiple levels of consciousness. So my script is actually crafted around that. And the basis for the sovereign free life model is that we're not just physical beings, we are multidimensional beings. We have emotions, like you will be sad or happy or angry, or all these have these kind of emotions, but you can't touch them, right? But you know them and you feel them. And then you have your thoughts, like you can think of a red ball and you will see a red ball in your mind, right? And it's super clear, but you can't touch it, you can't hold it. So there's so much more in our reality than what you can actually touch and what you can measure, even. Like the best researchers in the world, they couldn't, like, if I would just think of a red ball, they wouldn't know. They have no equipment, nothing that can tell them that what I'm thinking about. Maybe we'll get there somehow, someplace. But if you know what I mean, like in my reality, we are multidimensional beings. There's so many levels of us. There's so many layers of our being. And if we suppress that, and if we bring it down, and if we don't let ourselves be these full, beautiful beings that we are, it's going to be some kind of suffering. We're going to have some lack. We're not going to be able to live a balanced and free life. So we are physical beings, we're emotional beings, mental, and then we have the heart. We have creativity, we have connection, we have this expression that goes beyond the mind. Like if you listen to music, if you see a piece of art, if you like meet someone that inspires you and touches you, you might not be able to say intellectually, like, what happened there? Something happened, something shifted, something touched you, right? That is on the level of the heart, the creativity, that goes beyond the mind, right? And then after that, we have the ability to see visions, to not look into the future. That's not what I'm saying. But if you think about anything around you right now, someone had the vision of that table, of that, business model, whatever they wanted to build, like a building. Someone had a vision of everything we're seeing around us. So that is also very, very real. Like the ability to visualize and to then make manifest is such a power we have as human beings, and something that I think is underrated. A lot of people, they don't even go there because they're so caught up in the fight and flight. They're so caught up in like the stress of just surviving that they don't even come to actually believing that they can do something greater. They're here for something more. And that's what I love with, working with these beautiful beings in what I call my team, my community, where we all work with like defining that big vision, leading each other on the way to create it. And with everyone being their unique selves and goals, it's a big thing to also help people believe, because you have to have faith, you have to have belief in your visions, right? And it's a lack of that as well. A lot of people, they stay safe. They put the like blanket over the like I said, I have that as well, where I'm like, can someone else do this? Like, why do I have to? Like, I remember when this whole COVID circus started, and those that know me know that I've been on the like front lines there. I was like, from the start, it was like, but why isn't anything happening? Like in Sweden, there was nothing, like no one was speaking about it. No one, there was no debate, nothing. And then there were these big rallies like in England and Berlin, this and there. And of course, we had quite mild like restrictions and everything. And but I was very engaged, like through the networks I'd already been working with for many years. And my beautiful father, bless his soul, um, that researched into this, I had a lot of knowledge. I could see I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert at all. I'm a teacher, but I do see these visions. I do see these, I connect the dots. I see like contexts, and I think it's something I might have inherited from my father. I don't know. He could also see these huge like pictures and pieces of the puzzle that fit together. But anyway, I got kind of thrown into these happenings where I just felt like I was waiting for someone else to do something in Sweden and nothing was happening. And I started out just something needs to happen, because I knew, through my networks that there were ways of actually really supporting the care of those that were sick in this dreadful, whatever it was, disease. And there was also so many warning labels on, the medications that were developing, and what was happening there, and the restrictions and all of that. So I started to get engaged because I do really care for people. I do care about my children's future. I do. And someone told me in the whole circus of these things that if you know something that can help a lot of people, you need to share it, right? And that has kind of been with me since then. Like if I have knowledge, if I have something that can save someone's life, or like make them think in a way that can change their lives in a huge way. Like, of course, I need to speak out. Of course, I need to do something. You also have a responsibility. It's not just, oh, but I know this. Like, what if you would see a lot of people in pain and you knew in your hands you held something that could help these people? If you didn't share it with those people, like, wouldn't you kind of feel guilty or bad that you didn't share this that could actually help these other people? And this is actually a huge driving force in what I do and why I do stuff and why I did all of that. Like from this little seed of, okay, I'll just do it. So I was standing on a bench in Stockholm, in Gothenburg in Sweden. I had like 10 people around me on this small little rally, and someone saw me, Monica from Stockholm, and she was really touched by the speech that I held. And she's like, let's do something bigger. And from there, the whole like World Freedom Alliance sprouted, and like a network where we reached over 50 countries in the whole world and inspired like a whole charter of protecting our fundamental rights and freedoms. So many things can grow, from this little seed. But anyway, where was I going with this? I'm just babbling. No, the vision. That's right. I was talking about the Sovereign Free Life Plan. So these small little seeds, how like small, they might seem so small when they start to sprout, right? It might seem like, oh, but how can I? Like it doesn't matter, this and that. You matter so much. You planting your seed, you planting the flag, you saying enough, you drawing the line. Like, I'm not going to give away my life force. I'm not going to spend my all the time in my life doing something I'm not truly here for. I don't truly love. That is the power of vision combined with faith, combined with believing in yourself. And the more you spend time with people that do believe, that are there for a purpose, that are there to change, to shift, to start with themselves first, and then spread the light, the word, the truth, the more that gets empowered, right? So that is the vision. And the next level is your intuition, your soul memories. I truly believe that we do have a soul and that we're all a part of God. We're all part of the divine. And on that soul level, we have a deeper purpose. We do have memories from being on a soul level. So I know this for some people it's like, oh no, couldn't be true. Like no, we're just physical. Nothing happens when you die. The truth is that since I was very young, I have actually remembered many of my past lives. I do believe in past lives. I do believe that we're here to experience and expand together. I don't think we have a soul that is truly separate from God. And I do believe that time is very different than we think. That's another long story. But I also believe that if we can remember on a soul level who we truly are, both the fear of dying and the fear of death is diminishes, something that I don't have a lot of, I have to say. Like I'm afraid of parting from my loved ones, of course, but I'm not that afraid of dying, so to say, like physically. And I've had that experience many times where I've been like, other people would freak out and I'm just very calm, because I know that, this physical body might die. I can't die. Like on a soul level, I can't die. And the more you connect with that deeper self and start to live from that, not just this small life, of course, it's not neglecting that. We do need to care for all these levels. Like there's some people that they go into the spiritual dimensions and lose all contact with reality, with the physical body, and they neglect things that, like their finances or their body and emotions. Like they neglect the lower levels of who you are as a frequency. But some people ignore the higher levels. They ignore the spiritual experiences or dimensions. Like for heaven's sake, every every night you dream, you leave your body, you're in another dimension. You can remember those dreams. It's like reality, right? For me, those soul levels, those what some people call astral levels, where you can actually go into other dimensions, they're very, very real. And it's very different from imagination. So imagination is one thing. And these levels of the soul, like we're actually traveling in these astral dimensions. Those that know me know that I do this regularly, and it's something that I've done for my entire life, basically, and something that I've developed a lot, that I know a lot about, actually. And I know many people across the world that do the same and also see on those levels what you can call clairvoyance. But for me, it's very natural. It's if you also if you go to a lot of indigenous people across the world, this is a natural thing. This is very it's not something strange at all that we have souls or that, you know, our ancestors and loved ones stay with us or they come and visit. And there's so many, you know, so much wisdom there in that soul level that we can integrate into this life. And the next level after that is the unity. It's the consciousness itself, where you go beyond what you can believe. And it's something that people call it like enlightenment and the Buddha nature. For me, it's very, very tangible. It's very like, and I'm not saying I'm enlightened. I don't call myself anything. If like people call me high, low, this, that, I've been like the villain, the the saint, the this and that. I don't care, basically, because for me, everyone is divine. Like everyone carries this divine spark. And it's often so close to us that we don't even see it, that we don't even know it. For me, it was truly revealed when I was 14 and I met a spiritual master in India. And it was nothing he said. He actually looked into my eyes. His name is Papaji, or Sri Punjaji. He looked into my eyes and I understood that everything I was looking for outside was actually inside of me. Like it's what you call like understanding the divinity that lives within us all. And it's another long story, but it's a part of this sovereign free life plan to deeply know who you are, that know that you are made in the image of God. You are an image of God. You are divine. You are perfect. And the more we can live from that, not from patterns from the past, like we talked about these stories and these kind of stories that go and repeat that you try to just fulfill and put in the roles, right? If you start to live instead from this divine spark within, this that is just pure joy and bliss and consciousness, thankfulness, acceptance of this moment as it is, then there's every moment becomes so, so beautiful and so precious. And I'm telling you, like, since that like got integrated in me, it's been expanding and expanding that who I am is pure bliss, is pure light, is pure divine consciousness. And no one is separated from that divine. You know, when you can start to see that in everyone and everything around you as well, everything becomes so magical. And it's like, you know, when you were a child and everything was just, you were like in this magical world, right? That's actually how I experience things now, still. Then, like looking at a tree becomes the most beautiful thing you've ever experienced because you throw away the layers, the stories, the like, oh, but I've seen a tree before. It's not that special, or this person is like that, and blah, blah, blah. You know, all these stories you tell, if you threw that away and you would just be here and now, like, how divine, isn't it? That I'm just sitting here, all the things I can do, that I have this beautiful body, I have this beautiful life. So, what was I saying with all this? Yes, I was talking about the sovereign free life model, the different levels, and if those that know, it's based on the chakra model, it's based on the different frequencies, the different levels of consciousness described by so many different cultures, described through the ages. And in that model that I have developed, there is an inner level and there is an outer level. There is an inner manifestation and an outer manifestation. So, my morning script, to go back to what I have created for myself is based on these different levels. So I have a script for each level of consciousness. And it's been so, so powerful to what the script does. It's something that I read out loud every day for myself. And that actually goes into the subconscious. It goes into, it's like working out on that visionary level, right? Doing your scripting. And the beautiful thing is that when you start to see the whole, when you start to see that you can't figure everything out with your little mind, right? There are bigger things at play here, and you start to train your system, train your, reality to form around this script that is actually built on this tree of the real purpose, the real core purpose of why I'm here. Then you see these magical things happening around you and opportunities opening up that you couldn't even imagine in your life. So basically, this year has been, of course, a lot of challenges, but at the same time, like building that kind of spine, that framework that I believe is just about to flower into so many other things. And then I also believe that the Eco Village project, or the project that we're building in southern Sweden, will also be based on. So with that said, it's been a year of really stopping, like, how do you say, to not play small on a level that I wasn't thinking. Like sometimes you can't really think where you're going, right? And the opportunities just opens up for you. Like one of those opportunities is how we're expanding right now for farmers, like supporting farmers to get the best water, to get disinfection, to get healthier animals, more productivity on their farms, because they're, if you've seen across Europe, across everywhere, farmers and farms are under so much pressure. There's so much going on right now to put them in on financial pressure, administrational pressure, all of that. So that is one area that has kind of naturally evolved during this year. It's really expanded so naturally. And it's something that we're going to continue to expand into. So, and that has happened like so naturally with us coming in contact with farmers. They're loaning the machines. Enagic that we work with has actually like sponsored with some machines that are now on these farms. And it's something that, how you just open up to the possibilities, it kind of jumps in your lap, and then it's up to you to actually catch that ball and do the most with it and really value what is being given to you by the creation once you start to build your own tree, like your own expansion and your own consciousness. So guys, this year also for the podcast has like gone to the next level. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about next year, where I am going to go into other areas also, not just around the water, but in many different areas. We're expanding into all these different levels of consciousness to explore what it is to live a sovereign free life. Because for me, finding balance on all of these levels, finding that inner and outer balance on these different levels of consciousness is to create a sovereign free life. And, I'm right in the middle of exploring this, of making this shift. Like, I'm not perfect in any way. Like, I'm just human like anyone else. But I love to bring these stories to you. I love to let you see for yourself what is possible when we believe, when we choose, when we decide to be honest, to be true, and to lead, like let ourselves be led by something greater, something bigger within us. So, guys, with that said, I wish you a beautiful, beautiful 2026 and see you on the other side. Bye bye.
Because I really need to leave over to Monica as well, because she's such a testament of what is possible. You've been like a guiding light for me. I know, like, oh my God, I've been so inspired by you, especially in the beginning where I learned that you invited like 16 people in here and you hit a rank that's a like a big rank by just finding 16 people. And I was like in my mindset, like I need to find like 100 people. But no, no, no. This is teamwork. When you find
Oh.
the right people and you really support others, miracles happen. This is not just you have to be strong by yourself, which, I've been living by that a lot. But hey, when we move together, beautiful things happen. And this is actually the most beautiful thing of this business. It's actually the community, the support, the love, because when I drop like my motivation or whatever, I always have someone who's there and just like, hey, Claudia, I know who you are. I'll just remind you a little bit. And boom, I'm up there again. This wouldn't be possible without the community and these brilliant stars that I have by my side. So, with that, I want to leave over to you, Monica.
Oh my God, thank you, Claudia. I always get like tears in my eyes when I hear you. Like so, so touching to see your transformation, see everything you created, and now you are an inspiration for so many others. It's just like a ripple effect. And I'm so happy that I could inspire you as well on the way. So I'm gonna jump straight into my story, guys. I'm gonna jump straight into like how it all started for me. Um, so everyone can see the screen? Yeah, all good.
Yeah,
So this was my life 6 years ago. I am a teacher by profession. I was working an ordinary 9 to 5 job as a teacher. I had two beautiful small kids. I had a teenager in the house as well. And there's Christopher, my husband. And like we were living a good life, right? We had a pool, a beautiful villa. We could go places, when we wanted, but we were completely stuck. Like we were so stressed out. Um, my husband had a transport company. He would like leave the house at my maybe 5 or 6 and come home at like 6 o'clock in the evening. I would, then drag the kids out of bed, like rush them to their daycare, and then go to like always stressing out. And then work as a teacher was like you were never finished. You always had to prioritize. There was so much being put on your shoulders. And I didn't really feel like I either could be a teacher in the way I wanted. It was more administration and kind of documenting, testing than actually being a good teacher. And, me and my husband, we were just like, is this it? Like, is how we're going to live our lives? And we just saw our beautiful children, Neo and Mira here, the time with them. Like, what is more precious than that? And I kind of panicked when I had to leave them every day and watch them grow up, and someone else met my kids more than I did. So at that point, I I already knew Chanel, that's up on the top right. That is the beautiful angel that told me about this opportunity, what we're doing here. And she just wrote a post. I was sitting, by my computer and I just saw scrolling. on Facebook and I saw a post by her where she said, I found a way to get out of the 9 to 5 and not ever have to work again and travel the world at the same time. And I was like, yes, please. Like, I want to know because I also knew that if Chanel, if she wanted to present something, I knew it was good because she has a heart of gold. Like, I trust her so much. She's also a detox coach for many, many years. She's worked with health for years and years. It's like if she's recommended something, I knew this was serious. This was something real. And I started to look into this. And when I saw what it was, a light just popped in my head. It was like, okay, this is it. This is what is going to get us out of this kind of box that we were living in. I felt like if Claudia started from little, I started from having a lot, but I didn't have my time, right? So there are lots of people that, they might have okay life, but they don't have their time. Or there are people that are starting from no money, but and no health. And like we all start from different way in different ways. That's what I want to say. Like I've also grown up quite rich. Like I have a good money mindset. I have abundance in me. And when I saw this, I just saw that I could also have my time. I could have much more finances that I could ever dream on having in that past life, and I could have my time back and actually get to spend it with my children and also on my passion projects and other things that I was dreaming of. So, as you know, you've probably seen like one or two posts by us. You found your way into this group, right? In some way. And when I started out, um, we started to work on social media. I don't work that way as much any longer, but I just started to first experience the community and getting my health back, just like Claudia was saying. I got my health back in 3 weeks from being almost burnt out. I had so much energy, I didn't know what to do with it. And then from there, I started to share online. And this was my first post ever, like talking about this opportunity. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, it felt like I was like getting undressed in front of a lot of people on a big stage or something. It's like shifting your identity. Like, can I actually share something that has value, that gives value to others? And, but I was just completely speaking from the heart because this had already changed so much for me. It had already changed my health. And then I was just kind of shouting from the rooftops like Claudia was too. Like, you need to hear this. This is amazing. This is great. I don't know all the details. I was definitely not perfect. I was definitely like not knowing everything. But I jumped. It was like I was riding here. It was like felt like jumping from the highest level when you're jumping in the like into a swimming pool, and you're like, oh my God, should I? Shouldn't I? But I jumped. Can you please mute? Someone is unmute. Um, sorry, I will just mute here, please.
Sorry, my
Yeah, there. So I started out just jumping into it, and there was a huge shift that happened, like straight off the bat, because both I had amazing support. Here's actually the first picture of Chanel, Tarek, Victor is Christopher, my husband's brother, me, and also a woman that was with us from the start. She's not here any longer. But we kind of went all in. We were like, we had events, And you can see we had Zoom meetings. We did a big launch on like online, like you're experiencing right now, inviting people to a group and sharing all this beautiful people's experiences and truths. So we went all in and actually experienced this boom of both beautiful people that we met, like the picture down to the left. That's actually our first physical event we had in Gothenburg with a lot of people that just gotten started. We had I think we started out with a meeting in our house, in our villa, with like 30 people. And I think 15 of those, like half of those, just joined and they understood the vision. They saw it and they're like, yay, let's go. So it was kind of a huge instant success. And from there, it's actually just continued. And actually, even though we didn't start small, like we started with the biggest package with like there are different ways to get started where you can go slow, you can go fast. Like me and my husband were like, we looked at the numbers as entrepreneurs for many years and we're like, oh my God, is this real? Like, what should we do? Like, we'll just get the best start ever. And we just ran with it. And actually, like, no promises to anyone else, but actually, month 3 in this business, we had earned our first investment back times 3, guys. Not just earned it back one time, 3 times. And that was actually a year's salary as a teacher in 1 month, month 3. So, and I remember me and my husband like looking at the numbers after that month. It was actually after this launch and just speechless. Like our jaws just dropped and like, oh my God, then it becomes real. Like you might sit here and think like, okay, they can do it and da da da. But you know, when money actually lands on your account like that, and not just a little, just like really a lot, then it becomes very real. And um, then we, from that first experience, that first boom, as entrepreneurs, we knew that we want to reinvest. We want to reinvest some of that money in actually expanding even more. And that's what we did. So we actually, the summer after we got started, we went to the US and we met up with some top people in the world around in this community and learned directly from the best. And we also had a great time. Like we were celebrating. We were going to Yosemite National Park. That's the picture in the middle. That was a beautiful experience. We had an RV also and just traveled around like through California. And we were actually in San Diego then also. And like San Francisco, Yosemite, all of that. And we met up with these amazing mentors and friends. And we actually, you know, got to spend more time with our kids. I actually could, the first year, I didn't work as much. Like I went down in time. So I had 2 days per week where I could actually work on this that we're building up. And we met beautiful people that also understood the vision, that then created a bigger ripple effect from what we started. And when we, oh yeah, I was gonna say also, before I go to the rebel side of me, that actually we created this beautiful ripple effect of people and the income just kept on increasing. And so after a year, I could quit my job as a teacher. And that was just in the beginning of the COVID times where things got crazy and, you know, a stable job was very important. And I still had like family members that thought I was completely mad from like quitting my teacher's job. But honestly, you know, I was making so much at it at the time that it wasn't worth it. Like it wasn't worth spending my time being a teacher, and I couldn't be it the way I wanted to. But from that, also learning from this community to actually express myself, be myself, like show what is important for me, follow my dream. All of that led to me also stepping into my greater passion, which is to make impact globally. So, in the midst of all this craziness that happened during the COVID years, I happened to it's a longer story, but I happened to actually start an international organization called the World Freedom Alliance, where I am chair. I'm still chair of that organization to protect people's fundamental freedoms and rights, because there were so many people across the world that were pressured, that were stressed, that were so many different fundamental freedoms were being broken. And one of them, your health freedom, right? Which I'm very, very passionate about. And I met up with, this is Professor Dolores Cahill. She's from the Ireland. And a lot of other people from all over the world, like doctors' networks, professors, activists, journalists, all of these kind of people that actually had a passion for truth, for freedom, for actually letting people know that they are they are sovereign, they are free. And when we know that, we don't let anyone actually step on us or do anything against those freedoms. So the rebel queen in me, you could say, came out. It was like it started this avalanche that was bigger than just this community that I started in. I even, in the end, spoke at a huge rally in Stockholm, one of the biggest ever in Swedish history, for around 40,000 people. So, and we had documentaries that went crazy, went to millions of people all over the world. And that was actually seeded by me believing in myself before this happened in this community, kind of nurturing that side of me that just, you know what? I don't care. Like, I'm going to be me. I'm going to do me. I'm going to be in my brilliance. I'm going to be in my essence, which is something that you all have. It's just a matter of how much do you dare to let it out. Okay. And with that, of course, this huge different network started opening up. So I actually still know so many people all over the world that I'm also partly working with in this community where it all started. So from that, our whole community of people just grew and grew. And in the end, we actually had a huge festival in Stockholm about, I guess, was it 2, 3 years ago, something like that, where we got to have people from all over the world come to us in
Weird.
little Stockholm. And um, let's see. Yeah, there. Just some mics being unmuted. Yeah. And this is our beautiful community here with so many different kinds of people. I mean, there are people that started out like Balazs, one of the people, the person I'm hugging there in the bottom left. He started out as a door-to-door salesman. Now he earns over like 10 million per month or more. I don't even know how much. Like it's crazy amounts. And because he just stuck to this, he stuck to serving people, like Claudia said, and kind of fell in love with this, like so many others here. And we have Christy down in the bottom left, who's from Australia and a mother of three. And she like started this online business with like babies on her boobs and just inspired so many women out there. And Clint, her husband, that was like a personal trainer, just completely broke. They're living beautiful lives today. And from this community, I also learned about, I met Dabo, which is in the bottom here, who's kind of a tech genius that also that works with automation and systems that can actually free so much of our time. So for me, it's just been like evolving, 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 both inside of me, but also outside, and how we're actually doing this. I started out working a lot online and just spreading the word, speaking from my heart, being my authentic self. Today, after I met Dabo, who has a whole system called Project Legacy, I can wake up, and look at my phone, and it's like, oh, I have like five more people that, want to know what I'm doing. And I've been sleeping. I've been, playing with my kids, resting, whatever I want to do, or engage in my international projects. And this system works for me. Like the other day, I think this Monday, I think, three phone calls, just all automated, like jumping on with someone, like beautiful people that have qualified, that know already what this is about. And I just get to serve them. It's like, okay, what can I do for you? What do you want to create with this? How can we do this together? Okay, next step is this. And actually get to coach other people to create a beautiful life for themselves. And uh, and like it might sound weird, but what do you mean community? What do you mean like this and that? I know it's all new because it's a new way of, like Claudia said, having fun while we're earning huge amounts of money. And our community, that I initiated here in Scandinavia, one of the biggest in all of Scandinavia today of people that are waking up to this and living this way, is called the Omni community. And Omni means light, right? And why is it called the Omni community? It's called that because I love to see more and more people shine their light. They're unique like you. Like you're all unique. You're all special. We're all have special dreams, right? They're completely different. And one thing that I learned also through my international work is if we don't work on the ground level, and if every person doesn't step into their greatness and heal themselves and their lives and their finances and health, and like I was speaking about yesterday, their physical health, mental, emotional, spiritual, all of that, we're not going to get anywhere in this place. Like, we need to all heal, serve, have a greater purpose with what we do here. And when that happens, this kind of magic comes into place. So over the years, these are some beautiful people from our community. And they're like mothers or medical doctors, like Heiko there, or Victor in the top left, who's actually my husband's brother, and Cecilia, Marie, Tarek, which is Chanel's ex nowadays, but has played a huge role in what we're doing here, and Vitaly from Norway, Patricia, Marie, like I couldn't name them all, but these are some of the leaders, some people that have really stepped up and they do this seriously. They've done it like with heart, with mind, with soul, and they're getting to reap the effects of what we have created here. And yeah, it's still just the beginning. There's so much more. But it's amazing to get to work with these beautiful people around you. And today, what have we been able to create? So, our dream for a long time was to actually move out of the city to like live on a little farm. And we are now living on that beautiful farm in southern Sweden. It even has a little motocross track. Both my husband and my oldest son, or not oldest, but in the family now. Neo, he's driving motocross, and there's a little motocross track on here, so he can just go whenever he wants. We have some chicken, we have a big meadow. We're building a beautiful eco community and have big plans for it. We've also had gatherings there with some beautiful people from the team. And, looking back, there's so many things I could tell you, so many shifts that has happened over these years. But I think one of the things that was key for me was to do this in my way, like to do it with my heart, with my soul, with my unique light, and then inspiring others to stand in their sovereignty, in their freedom. Sovereignty meaning reclaiming what you already are, what you already have. It's not about figuring so much out. It's about how much can you let out of yourself? How much can you dare to believe that you can live the dream that you want? Because I'm actually living exactly the dream that I wanted 6 years ago, right now. And I have to kind of pinch myself. I have all the time I want with my kids. We've been, my husband could quit his job after 2 years doing this. And we had 3 years together, all as a family. We were traveling all over the world. We lived in a caravan for 9 months because that was one of my husband's dreams. And we went up skiing. We went all over Europe. We've been, meeting beautiful people and just spending time with the kids. And now he actually wants to work again. So he was like taking saunas, working out, taking care of the kids, and of course doing the business off and on a bit. But now it's like, I'm bored. Like, I want to do some work again. And now he's actually has an ordinary work again, um, on his conditions. Like, he works as much as he wants. Just gonna take a look at the chat. Hmm. Yeah, oh, there's so much here. Oh my God, I can't keep up with you guys. Well, anyway, for me to be able to give this to my children that actually started out that I wanted to give is something you can't put a price tag on. It's not something. I mean, we're here to live. We're here to thrive. We're here to not just put out fires all the time and just survive and kind of breathe a little bit in between stuff. You're here to actually be where your energy and your love and your time where it matters the most for the world, for you, for your children. And that's what I'm experiencing. I'm actually experiencing living this full, beautiful life where it's just getting better and better. Like, right now, where I'm going is very close to the high legacy level where I really don't have to work ever again for the rest of my life if I don't want to. It's still very good where I'm at, but it's just this exponential curve that you get to experience. And this is also from San Diego. I was speaking on stage there on a sales mastery course. And the funny thing is that, people have something against sales, but the whole event there, a lot of, like Claudia was saying too, was about serving. Like, sales is actually serving other people. When we found something that we love, that we know is proven, that works, that shifts people's lives around, like, why shouldn't we share it? It would be egoistic not to, right? And I also get to do what I truly love. And one of the things is to share other people's stories because I think it's kind of human. It's kind of a fundamental human thing to talk about our stories and to share stories. So, actually, my Sovereign Free Life podcast is just coming out again. I had it kind of for fun about for a year. And then I was like, oh my God, there's such amazing guests here now. I have to kind of up level it. So I'm actually next week. rebranding it, redoing it, and have some amazing people coming on there. And I get to actually do what I love, be with my kids, meet these incredible mentors like Christine Balazs, some of my amazing mentors that also love to help other people because um yeah, I mean, they're just pouring out their heart to this community and supporting all of us to also experience our dreams. So it's kind of this, yeah, passing the torch on. Like you have a torch, you can pass it on, and then it gets passed on, and so on. And on the way, you kind of break through all these blocks, like that are keeping you from actually living your sovereign free life, your version of the highest version of you, like your path, your true vision. So, guys, that's it. And just want to share that actually right now I'm also coming back to things that I've done earlier in my life. It's kind of a life passion of mine because I also used to work as a coach for many, many years to bring balance on multiple levels of our reality, right? So if you remember the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you first have to take care of your physiological needs. Like you need to have a roof over your head and food, shelter, just like Claudia was starting from. Oh my God, can I even go into store and get my food? Like then nothing else is gonna matter. Like if you don't have that, it's hard to go to the next level, right? Then you need your safety and also like emotional, mental safety. You need to uh, yeah, have resources, the finances, all of that. Then it's the social needs, psychological, love, belonging, intimacy, all of that. Then you can go to like actually realizing yourself, earning some confidence and respect and giving back to others. And on the top, that's where we get to also give to others, where we get to live and come in contact with the greater parts of us. And that's when we all travel through these layers, which it feels like I've done, then you can really also have the peace to be free inside of you and to share that with others. So for me, the what I'm working on now is called the Sovereign Free Life Model. And it's got to do with this, but it's like a next step of that, something that I've actually researched with psychologists and brain researchers, all of that earlier in my life when I worked as a coach. So in the end, it's about, creating a real holistic, balanced life for as many people as possible so that we can actually have a better world. That is all, guys.